Over the next 7 days, I'm gonna challenge myself to do a fast, which means that I'm literally not eating any food for 168 hours, but I'm able to have water and salt, and that's it. Right, what are you doing? Who is this?
Letting our baby boy out.
Who is it?
This is Copper. Say hello, Copper.
What is that?
Hey, Copper.
Hi. Over the next 7 days, my goal is to try to eliminate as many of my bad habits as possible, including kicking a gnarly caffeine addiction because I drink 1, 2, or even 3 Red Bulls a day, plus a coffee. So that's not awesome. Also, I eat fast food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In addition, I am constantly having trash foods that are full of sugar, like amazing cheesecake, one of my favorite, but that is not good for my body. My full-time job is a content creator as a snowboarder. So that means that I am relying on my body to be in tip-top shape so that I can make an income, feed the doggo, and support my family. But one of the biggest things that is holding me back with snowboarding is that I'm just full of inflammation and injuries. I've had a broken back, wrist, concussion, I got a busted hip. So I'm hoping that if I can just cleanse my body out of all of this shenanigans, and hopefully I can start feeling good again. But first, so within this 7-day fast, we're gonna do 2 dramatically different approaches. I'm gonna do a more strict approach, but Natalie, what are you gonna be doing?
I'm gonna be doing an intuitive approach. It means I'm just gonna be going off based off how I feel. So if at any point during the 7-day fast, I'm not feeling it, like that's where I'm gonna cut it off because I've done that in the past and it doesn't really work for me.
So then I'm gonna take the exact opposite approach, which means I'm gonna be tracking everything and having a lot more rules.
And some of those daily rules are drinking only water and salt, and then I'm gonna be measuring my weight, glucose, and ketone levels each day. Plus, I gotta get 10,000 steps per day, get 8 hours of sleep, and absolutely no coffee or caffeine.
All of what he just said there sounds terrible to me.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law, hope they won't shoot me down soon.
We started this yesterday, but I'm 32 hours in. What about you?
44 hours. So I actually feel really good right now. But guys, let me tell you, I felt like a train wreck today. I made a video when I was on the trail earlier this morning, and things just kind of continued to get worse. I started to feel way more tired, exhausted, completely depleted. Like I would try to write an email and I felt like I couldn't even function to do that. So I just sat there staring at a screen. I was like, this is pointless. So I went down to the trail and just sat by the river with the dog and just literally just sat there and got super sunburned. Just as of recently, maybe within the last hour, my energy started to pick back up. So I'm feeling really good now. Still hungry, of course, but at least I don't feel super low energy.
So the funny thing is, Natalie's 12 hours ahead of me, so it's a bit of a foreshadow. So I'm really curious what's gonna happen for me. I had to do some work on my computer. That was definitely a struggle. Even right now, I can feel my knees are achy. I feel my body's getting pretty just achy and sore. Anything else you wanna add to this?
Just that today was really, really hard.
And that's a perfect segue into what exactly happens during a fast.
Fasting has been practiced for centuries for various religious, cultural, and health reasons. A 7-day fast provides a profound window into the body's adaptive mechanisms and metabolic shifts. Some of the physiological benefits are depletion of glycogen stores, loss of water weight, and mobilization of fat stores result in significant weight loss. Some may also see improved insulin sensitivity, cellular repair, increased energy, and mental clarity. On the first day of fasting, the body relies on glucose stored in the liver as glycogen, which provides energy for 24 to 36 hours. As food intake ceases, the pancreas reduces insulin secretion, prompting the liver to release glycogen into the bloodstream, maintaining blood glucose levels. By the second day, glycogen stores are largely depleted. The body shifts to alternative energy sources, increasing the production of ketone bodies through ketogenesis. The liver converts fatty acids from adipose tissue into ketones, which serve as an energy source for the brain and other organs. Into day 4 and 5, ketone bodies become the primary fuel source for the brain, reducing its reliance on glucose. This adaptation conserves muscle protein and stabilizes blood glucose levels. During this phase, the body experiences a surge in autophagy, a cellular recycling process that removes damaged components and promotes cellular repair and regeneration. By the 6th and 7th days, the body is in a state of deep ketosis, with blood ketone levels significantly elevated. The increased availability of ketones ensures a steady energy supply to the brain, muscles, and other tissues.
So we're 49 hours into this thing and my energy is actually feeling pretty good, but I'm actually going into ketosis and starting to feel a little bit better, not as hungry. Still trying to get my 10,000 steps a day. So one tactic that I'm using is actually playing disc golf. It's a fun way to go do an activity, get some steps in. But I'm not the sickest disc golfer ever. That's for sure. I enjoy it. It's a good time. Plus, you know, I get to play with my dad sometimes. Last night was miserable for sleeping. That's probably been one of the toughest things, is my sleep has been awful. I wake up 10 to 15 times. I just wake up, go to sleep a little bit, wake up, wake up, wake up. Like, my nights feel like they're 3 days long. Usually when I'm not on this fast, it's literally like fall asleep and then all of a sudden you wake up like in no time. You like time travel. Here, it's really long. Sleeping has been probably the hardest part of this whole thing. Natalie, how was your day?
So I didn't feel like super great, but actually as the day went on, I actually started to feel really good. I actually feel really good right now, to tell you the truth. I just kind of miss like having the energy to like live my active lifestyle. It's like going to the gym and taking Copper out for a walk, like up the hill, and like I just kind of miss that. So, you know, I can't do that much when I'm not consuming any calories. And although it's been super nice, I just feel like, I don't know, I've kind of gotten what I wanted out of it. You know, I feel like I've really built my trust with food. I feel like I've created some freedom with the gym. Like I don't feel like I need to go. I just want to go. And, you know, my goal was, I think 3 to 7 days, I don't know, whatever. But it's the longest I've ever fasted, and I feel totally in control right now. Like I feel like I can have a meal and it's like gonna be totally fine. Like I'm not gonna binge out or go out of control. So that's the way I'd like to kind of finish it.
Any recommendations you have for somebody trying this that may lead to the success that you feel like you've had?
Definitely not pushing yourself, like not forcing yourself to like go for walks if you don't want to, or like if you're not feeling it, like not pushing yourself to do things that your body doesn't feel like doing.
Well, it's raining. It's raining, and I need approximately 7,500, maybe 800 more steps. So we're here at Target, and I'm gonna see how many laps I can do in an hour. All right, at this point, I've been walking for an hour and 10 minutes. I am absolutely cooked. My back is so tight and it hurts. I found a spatula, so it looks like I'm shopping, and maybe that's a deterrent from anybody being sus or thinking I'm sus. With the 900 steps to go, I've resorted to laps and going up down aisles. You also find some very fun, interesting stuff in here. These towels look amazing. That colorway looks good. I hear crying child. I'm going the other way. I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. We are officially 101 hours and 30 minutes into this fast. I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty cooked. I'm pretty tired. But I went to bed at probably 9 o'clock last night and literally stayed asleep till, I stayed asleep till 8, couldn't get out of bed. I left bed at like 10:20 in the morning. I was so tired, lazy to go on my 10,000 steps. It was so hard. Definitely did not play disc golf, just barely, like pretty much willing myself at this point to get those steps, because I know the goal is to do 10,000. I'm cooked, I'm tired. We have a couple more days of this. I'm definitely down almost 10 pounds. So I'm committed, I'm excited, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I'm officially 151 hours and 35 minutes into this challenge, which also means, I'm gonna check my little app, means I have 16 hours and 25 minutes left. So excited. So I'm at Whole Foods trying to figure out exactly what my first meal is. I've always been really terrible at my food choices. I've always done processed foods, really quick meals. So I gotta learn how to shop for good food. This is terrifying, but exciting at the same time. Mangoes, I'm allergic. I would die. Right there. Death, staring me in the eye. I would die. Can I get the flank steak, please? Flank, please. Cool, I appreciate it, thanks so much. Let's go. All right, that's pretty exciting and pretty nerve-wracking because you have to like interact with humans. 10 out of 10, recommend. Best salt for steaks. All right, I'm gonna call that a successful trip. That was fun. Definitely got to buy a bunch of stuff. Definitely spent a decent amount of coins, but I'm excited just to start fresh, have a bunch of stuff in my cabinet. That's gonna be fresh, fun, and yeah, that was the vibe. So a quick little recap, in the last 24 hours, my energy has been absolutely interesting because my physical energy to go for a walk is like the toughest thing in the world, but my energy to socialize and talk is like fantastic. So that's been interesting. Sleep, terrible. And on that note,
we are 168 hours done with fasting. I am hungry, starving, but first, let's do a nice little check-in to see how much weight I actually lost. Let's go. And of course the hoodie comes off, and this has been our attire the entire time. Let's see what we weigh in after 7 days of totally fasting. 131.8, let's go. Now let's sit down for our very first meal after a 7-day fast. It was definitely a wild time, not gonna lie. It was definitely a lot harder than I expected, but that's expected, right? So let's enjoy a little bit of a couple bites. Then I'm gonna talk about my 3 things that happened that I didn't expect throughout this fast. I really feel like starting with the blackberry. I freaking love blackberries. It is crazy after 7 days how sugary and tart this really tastes. I feel like my flavor profile is so much more enhanced and sensitive because I'm like, haven't eaten in a while, and it does feel weird to actually eat. It's crazy. The other thing, I feel like I didn't have to prep food for 7 days or cook, and I gained a lot of time in my life. It's like the creamiest, texturest, most amazing thing as it explodes on top of my taste buds. This is literally probably the best avocado I've ever had, but it's not even that good of an avocado. Let's talk about the first thing that I did not expect throughout this challenge was, as you probably already predict, how miserable and challenging sleep really was. Something I didn't expect out of this challenge was my nose became way more sensitive. I'll be walking up the street on one of my fantastic 10,000 step walks, and I could smell the trees so much more, or the flowers, and it's something that registered in my mind as being like abnormally strong. So that was definitely a little weird, but it could make life way more enjoyable, and I definitely wonder if I'm gonna keep that sensitivity or it's gonna be gone. This was probably the hardest thing I ever did. Both I had to kick a sugar addiction, a caffeine addiction, a habit, a lifestyle. That all of that combined made this really hard, and then you add on top of that, you're constantly hungry, absolutely tired, and I may at times felt like I had mental clarity, but I definitely did not have any physical energy. And there we go, we are done with our very first meal. And definitely subscribe to the channel because I'm going to do a lot more challenges, but comment down below what challenge you want to see. I believe the next one I'm going to do is a 7-day detox of dopamine, which could be super fun. Appreciate you hanging out, and see you in the next one.